If your tank water heater's over 8 years old, you may be sitting on a ticking time bomb. It could start leaking without warning, causing far more damage than the loss of the heater itself. Consider replacing it with a Navien tankless water heater. No storage tank to leak, endless hot water for spa-like comfort, longer life, and backed by Navien's strong warranty. Before time runs out, visit tanklessmadesimple.com for the name of your Navien contractor.
Count on Navien.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's a cool story. 101-year-old World War II vet in Pittsburgh. His name is Andrew. And he was interviewed about what he believed his key was to living a long life.
Awesome. I always love these because they always involve doing things that aren't healthy.
You're absolutely right. You know, and it gets, especially, I mean, especially the people that eat whatever food they want to eat and they look like they weigh nothing.
Yeah.
You know, like, wow, you don't weigh anything and you're over 100 years old. And
you're 110. What's the key to life? Whiskey and pork rinds.
Yeah. Well, you're going to love Andrew because his key is that every day at 4 o'clock, he has a course.
The silver bullet.
The silver bullet. Every day at 4 o'clock, he pops
silver bullet for the silver fox, man.
Yeah. Of course, Coors heard about this, and they were like, all right, we got to get this guy out, give him the grand tour. So they invited him and his family out to Golden, Colorado to have one at the brewery, you know, part of his daily celebration. And here's Andrew talking about his love for Coors Light.
Every day at 4 o'clock, yes. So we may miss a half hour or so, but we still get our 4 o'clock beer and sort of a good flavor. And I just enjoyed it. I loved it. I just loved to drink it, that's all. And I was mowing my lawns. At about 4 o'clock, I was finished with the lawn. I'd have my Coors Light. That's when it hit the spot. That's almost like a medicine.
Oh, I love this guy.
Yeah. Wow.
If it wasn't the fact that he probably break his hip, I'd invite him to be a part of our hockey team.
Yeah.
Because Coors Light is the official...
is it?
It's not the official sponsor, but it's the official thing we get for our hockey guys.
How hasn't Coors invited you guys out? Oh, because it's you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. They have a certain standard, BJ, that they want to uphold. This guy would be a better spokesperson for Coors Light than the Donkeys.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Plus, they want the brewery to actually be intact once you guys leave.
Right. They don't want us to drink all the profits.
That is awesome. You know, man, that's the way to live. The guy found, because if you could find a way to reward yourself at the end of a long day, because he said he was, mowing his lawn.
Yep. Every day around 4-ish.
Yeah.
I like that part because that means at 4:20 maybe he might even
4:20. Well,
I get stoned at 4:20 and crush a Coors Light.
You know somebody here in Washington State. It may not be today, but soon there'll be a 101-year-old. They'll interview from Washington State, and they'll probably say, "Well, every day at 4:20, I lit up a fatty, and that's why I'm 101 years old." Right?
Absolutely.
You know it's got to happen, and I don't think that. I think that's just as cool.
Did you have one too many Coors Lights this weekend, man? Your voice sounds like it's gone through a ringer.
Yeah, no.
What happened to you?
There was no drinking. I just there was a lot of yelling and a lot of staying up way too late playing board games.
Yelling in a positive way? Like, yeah, I won. We're yelling as in, you sunk my battleship, you D.
I actually had a gentleman get up from the board game table, call me a sore loser, and walk out.
Shocking. This guy is me.
Yeah.
That's my spirit animal.
Yeah.
That's why I stopped playing poker.
Yeah. Yeah.
He really got that mad.
Yeah, well, and Rev, I think, and Vicky know the game, and Danny does too. The game is a social deduction game called The Resistance, and so there's a lot of there's a
you
lot of
wonder why
conversation.
I don't play this game with you anymore.
Yeah,
my gosh,
I know.
It's my favorite to play with him.
Yeah,
social deduction,
social deduction,
That too,
and social seductions.
Yeah.
Is that a band?
Yeah.
Is Mike Ness in that band?
Yeah.
Was Mike Ness there? Was it Mike Ness that got mad?
Mike Ness got up from the table, and
So were you just giving him a hard? Were you mad and doing your usual? I can't believe this guy's in and I'm not. You ever did that to me in a poker game?
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I play very much as a performer because if you rattle people,
right,
it helps you win the game. I tell people up front though, hey, look, he was a new guy. We're very inviting, we're very inclusive, but then the new people get very overwhelmed when they play this game with us.
I got to imagine that it's a culture shock to play in a game with you when you don't know that's the type, because you're upfront about it. You like to talk nonstop. That's part of your strategy, and anything that you do that's a game involved. But if you don't know it, man, that's got to be a mind F.
Yeah, you don't know it until you experience it, and then you're just blown away.
Right. We can talk about this all we want on the air, but until you experience BJ in a board in a game situation, you don't understand it.
Right.
Yeah, and it's not just like a regular board game like Monopoly where you're playing by yourself. You're playing on a team.
It's on my weekend up.
Yeah. So if I'm just playing a regular board game where I'm just playing for myself, I'm a lot nicer because that's different, But this is a team game, and if we had we had 5 people on our team and 4 people on the other team.
Oh, you already had the upper hand.
Yeah. Well, you kind of do. Here's the thing: the people in the majority don't know anything. The people in the minority know everything. So that's where you balance it out. It's
a social deduction game. I know that, BJ.
Now he called me a sore loser. Here's the thing: he called me a sore loser, but we were both on the same team. We were both losers.
Oh my gosh! So wait, so your own team gave up on you?
Well, he was mad that I was upset that we lost. And I'm like, and he's like, you're a sore loser. I go, you're right, I'm a sore loser. But I'm like, you're a loser like me. You're a loser and I'm a loser. It's not like you're the winner and I'm mad at you for winning. No, I'm mad that we lost. But, and he just said, you're a sore loser.
I kind of want to have a sign on you when you go to these conventions that say, it's like, beware when playing board games with this person.
Yeah.
Like,
you're absolutely right, Vicky. They have signs. They have signs letting you know how you identify as a human being. They're doing that at a lot of conventions. Right. They have signs telling you what pronoun you want to be referred to. I need a sign that says, don't talk to this guy if you don't want to get yelled at.
It's just going to say, BJ, I identify as a nonstop S-talker.
Yes.
Be prepared.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. This guy in Silicon Valley, California, he pays $1,500 a month so the 2 cats can have their own apartment.
His name is the Reverend Fuego.
Yeah.
Man, $1,500 here would be a really nice place, but in Silicon Valley, is that like a 1-bedroom or something like that?
Well, $1,500 where in Seattle would be a really nice place?
Yeah.
All right, maybe Tacoma.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, seriously.
Fair enough.
Yes. We are maybe not as bad as San Francisco, but we're damn close these days.
You're right, yeah.
This is a 400 square foot place.
Oh, yeah, that's tiny. That's cat-sized.
It doesn't have a bathroom.
Doesn't need one.
All right, that's about what you would pay here in Seattle as well.
Yeah. Well, I guess they don't need a bathroom when you think about it.
Yeah, cat boxes.
Yeah.
Is it one of those shared, like almost it's like a dorm room? Aren't they building those in West Seattle, or already built them where you're sharing a bathroom?
Oh, the apartments?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I do not like that idea. I suppose if you're young enough, you have no problem sharing bathrooms with people like that, like it is a dorm.
That was like the best part about finally being done with living on campus. Oh, I have a bathroom to myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to ever go back to that.
So here's the thing. These cats are this guy's daughters. And she couldn't keep her in her college dorm, which makes sense. He couldn't keep them in his place because they don't get along with his dog. So he decided, here's what I'll do. I'll rent an apartment for him in the most expensive real estate market in the country, San Francisco. And like I said, 400 square foot place with no bathroom, $1,500 a month. Here's the landlord talking about this.
He says, I have nowhere to put these cats. I said, well, I got a room. I've been thinking about renting it. He says, hey, what if I paid you to put my cats up? I said, what do you mean? He says, just all the time. I'll come visit them, and I live close. And I said, sure, no problem. So I said, why not? So we stuck them in, and they've been great. They live in there. We come see them. We feed them. We keep them there, and they're loving life. They're living large. Yeah, I don't rent to cats or anybody else. I wanted to rent to somebody, and I probably ultimately will end up renting the place to somebody. But, this market is so expensive. And people, care about their pets as much as anything else. They're part of the family. There's 2 cats, Tina and Louise, very cute cats, and they just stay there.
Oh, Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
How do they? But
I was thinking Tina Louise from Gilligan's Island.
Oh.
I wonder if that's
age difference.
Yeah, if it's his daughter's cats, it's probably from Bob's Burgers. Because Tina and Louise are probably the best characters.
But hold on a second. I think Steve's onto something. I wonder if the creator of Bob's Burgers actually named them Tina and Louise after the Gilligan's Island Tina Louise actress.
Maybe, because Tina originally was supposed to be a boy.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know.
It's very coincidental. I think Steve's onto something, and Vicky, you're right. This guy, I don't know if they named him that way because of the Bob's Burgers show. More likely they did, but I bet the characters themselves are because of Gilligan.
All I know is back in the days of me being an apartment manager, I would have much rather rent an apartment to cats than some of the humans that we rented these places to. Cats aren't going to bug you.
No.
Cats aren't going to clog up the toilets. Yes, I'm talking to you 2 ballet dancers that clog the toilets all the time.
Really?
Oh, my gosh, dude. Talk about 2 women that were hot as hell when I first moved in that became the most unattractive women I've ever met in my life because they never knew how to unclog a toilet, so I'd have to go in there and... yeah.
The ballet dancers are making it happen, huh?
Oh, for sure they are.
Wow.
I didn't know ballet dancers could drop the kids off like that.
Well, these 2 did.
Damn. Wow.
Cats aren't going to probably play loud music at night.
No,
They don't
won't.
stomp on the floor, so you don't have to worry about making sound above you.
Cats are nocturnal if they're big ones. Like, damn it, Carl, he's a big guy, and I can hear him running across the house. Like, it's a pain in the ass.
Although, what would that smell like?
Cats.
Yeah, I don't know how you rent that out to somebody. I would
After the
never.
fact.
Yeah, I would never want to rent a place that was rented just to cats.
It'd be great if the cats also brought a pet. And they're like, what's the pet deposit for this mouse
Nice.
that they're bringing?
So, and I went to IMDb and looked at the trivia for Bob's Burgers. Tina and Louise are named for actress Tina Louise, best known for the original Ginger Grant on Gilligan's
Look at
Island.
Steve.
Good job, Steve.
I didn't know. And once I heard Tina Louise, I'm like, oh, that's funny. Gilligan's Island.
Awesome.
I need to watch Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, you do.
Bobby.
It is really, really, really good.
Yeah. And I have a question. This guy says that he was renting it out. He expected to rent it out to a human being, and he wants to probably rent it out afterwards because unless all of a sudden he becomes the cat guy, like, hey, I've got a great cat place for you people. It doesn't have a bathroom. How does he charge $1,500 a month to a person to rent a place with no bathroom?
Look up how much those apartments are going for in West Seattle. I think they're about $1,300 a month.
So then they're using his bathroom in his house. That's what you're imagining?
Oh, no, I'm thinking that there's a shared bathroom in this apartment complex.
Oh, I read the article, and it's in his backyard.
Oh, then maybe
house or something.
Yeah, and so
maybe this isn't really an apartment, and he's just renting it out for these cats.
Yeah, so that's what. But the way he was saying in his own audio, he was like, "Oh, I'm going to rent this out to others and whatever."
Right? Yeah.
It's like, how do you do that without a bathroom?
According to apartments.com, Seattle's small apartments rent $885 a month.
Huh.
Refundable security deposit $250.
But you get shared bathroom at least.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah. See, this one. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this has a shared bathroom. It doesn't say that. It says it just doesn't have a bathroom.
I feel like a lot of these are for people who are moving in from another city or another state, and their house or apartment isn't ready yet, so they live here temporarily for like a month or 2 until their place is ready. At least the apartments.
I wouldn't be surprised if some people that just becomes their home.
Yeah.
Do you then share a kitchen? Is that how this works?
Huh.
Yeah, I guess so. Because I don't know if it's got a kitchen either.
I'll take a look.
I mean, how often are the cats cooking?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Probably microwave most of their stuff
nuts.
anyway.
Yeah, usually.
Wow, $1,500 a month, no bathroom, I guess no kitchen. Wow, that's a lot of money. It's like you might just get a storage. Yeah, but you can't. You're not allowed to live in those places. But hey, you know what they say? You can't live in a storage cube, but maybe the cats can.
Dude, I know there have been times back in the day where I had a practice space for music, and when we used to have one down in a Pioneer Square area, there was a couple of people that were living in their band rental space. Like, they were there all the time. You could tell like they were coming back from the bathroom with their toothbrush, and then you start talking to a couple of them like, it's expensive to have a practice space and B, have an apartment. So I just said screw it for the time being. It wasn't like a long term thing, but for a short term, kind of a way to go.
Well, they and they discourage people from doing that with their office space too.
Have you seen? I saw it online. Somebody was saying there's also a trend of people that rent out a spot in a house. They don't even have a room. They just like couch surf.
I hooked up with a guy who made his room out of the closet.
Yeah.
Wow. So he's basically Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I mean,
and it was cheap. One
of the first places I lived was in Wallingford, and it was a 4 or 5 bedroom home that we lived in. Really nice house, but there was about 8 of us that lived there. So 2 of us lived in the basement, which sucked because I'm 6'3", and the ceiling was about 5'9".
Okay.
Oh, man. So I had like this weird hunch for a while because that's just how I had to get by. But my room wasn't even a room. It was just in a basement. I had a bed in the basement. I was paying like $200 a month, if that, maybe even $150.
Wow.
And my buddy Todd, also in the basement, but he built his own little fort, Vicky would appreciate. Like, he set up a bunch of stuff, created his own little wall, and basically turned it into like a cave.
Oh, wow.
And that was his room. Wow. And so the 2 of us lived down there. Then there was a guy who was living in the garage, and he was practicing to become a monk, so he didn't speak to any of us.
Okay.
Not kidding.
I believe you. It's just
he wanted to see if he could become a monk, so he wanted to practice first.
How long did it take?
For as long as I lived there, he never spoke.
Wow.
Neat.
Must have been your favorite roommate.
Okay. He was a super nice guy.
Because he didn't say anything. How would you know? He didn't say anything. Well, you like people that don't talk. Yeah. That was Steve's best friend.
I don't know what happened. Maybe he's a monk now. I don't know what happened, but that was what they told me. It was like a sitcom. They're like, hey, I can't remember his name. Al, let's just say. Al's not going to say anything to you. He's practicing to be a monk. Like, okay.
I wish cameras followed you guys around, or at least based a sitcom off of you guys, because that'd just be hilarious. He just kind of hangs out, but he won't say anything to you. Just don't mind him.
Wow, I never had any of that in my life because I didn't do the living on my own thing.
Oh, the best moment ever was when someone finally moved out of one of the rooms, so I got upgraded.
Upgrade. Oh, right.
The monk guy was fine in the garage, and the other dude he was happy with his nook in the basement. So then I was next in line, and I finally got a room with a ceiling. It was awesome.
How much did the rent go up?
Oh gosh, yeah, doubled. It was like $300.
So it was worth it, though. Huh?
Yeah. You can't even find anything like that now. I remember when I first moved out here in like the late 90s. U District, you can find like a place for a couple $100.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
No,
it's nuts.
Now you got these apartments.
I'm looking at one in Capitol Hill, and it's about $10.85 a month, and you get like a tiny little kitchenette with like one of those tiny refrigerators. Like, it's not even a full like refrigerator; it's the small guys, and a bed and a desk and a chair at no extra cost, but for $10.85 a month.
Yeah, I shudder to think what would happen, like to rent a house on Mercer Island, because that's what I did when I first got here. We always, whenever we bounced around the country, I said, well, at least I can do is find a place with a good school district, and that way at least the kids will get a decent education. And that's why we moved to Mercer Island. And when we got here, rented a place, it was costly, but nothing like it must be now. I wonder if you're talking $3,000 to $4,000 to rent a house on Mercer Island. I wonder.
How crazy is this? Someone says, I remember that house, Steve. Freebie or Todd. I sold him my drum set.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, Todd was he's a great drummer.
Did he talk much?
Todd's, he was awesome. Okay. Ran into him at Summer Meltdown last year, or 2 years ago.
And when was the last time you saw Todd before that?
15 years.
That's nuts.
That blew my mind because I was wasted on the river. And all of a sudden, I thought almost it was like an image in my head, like, he's not really here.
Yeah.
It's just it's the ghost of Todd.
Oh, that's wild.
But it was Todd.
Yeah.
And we talked about Primus. It was pretty sweet.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, you know what? When you're stoned, yeah, sure. Or wasted, or whatever you're on, it's a lot more pleasant.
I was frying on acid, BJ. No, I'm kidding.
I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. I don't know what the heck. Baby aspirin. I don't know what the hell you were doing.
No, psilocybin.
Yeah.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. What's the difference between filing for bankruptcy and credit counseling?
Credit counseling is a useful process in some circumstances, but it does show up on your credit. In fact, from a credit scoring standpoint, credit counseling shows up just like a bankruptcy, so it's going to affect your credit as negatively as filing bankruptcy. In credit counseling, the idea is that a credit counselor works with your creditors on your your behalf to try to lower interest rates or work out payment plans with your creditors to pay back your debt over time. In credit counseling, you almost always pay back 100% of the debt, sometimes at lower interest. And of course, some creditors will participate in that process and some won't. So you're usually left with kind of a mixed result with credit counseling and, of course, a high payment.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. Thanks for listening.
If your tank water heater's over 8 years old, you may be sitting on a ticking time bomb. It could start leaking without warning, causing far more damage than the loss of the heater itself. Consider replacing it with a Navien tankless water heater. No storage tank to leak, endless hot water for spa-like comfort, longer life, and backed by Navien's strong warranty. Before time runs out, visit tanklessmadesimple.com for the name of your Navien contractor.
Count on Navien.